At this point, may I humbly request the Right Honorable the Prime Minister to deliver his opening and welcome remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. Please allow me to pay my respect to His Majesty King Letsie III, Head of State of the Kingdom of Lesotho, Your Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers from South Africa and Lesotho here present, senior government officials from South Africa and Lesotho here present, distinguished delegates, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, dumelang bo mme le bo ntate. Le a phela. Ke a phela. It is with great honor and privilege that I welcome you, Your Excellency, Mr. President, and your high-power delegation to the Kingdom of Lesotho. Welcome home. We are truly privileged to host this second session of the Binational Commission between our two sister countries. The BNC is a platform that represents the depth and breadth of our bilateral relations and cooperations, which are underpinned by historic and kinship ties that bind our peoples together. Your Excellency, distinguished delegates, Lesotho and South Africa share deep and painful history. Basotho and South Africans stood side by side, shoulder to shoulder, to fight colonialism and apartheid. Basotho and South Africans shared trenches in the bush and in the mountains to wage war against apartheid. In Maseru, where we meet today, we experienced a massacre of Basotho and liberation activists in 1982. In the mines in South Africa, ordinary Basotho men mobilized each other and sacrificed their little resources to support the liberation movement. You know this better than most of us, Your Excellency, because you were with them in the National Union of Mine Workers and Congress of South African Trade Unions. These are the comrades, and we are indeed part of this history, which has shaped our lives and continues to influence our present, will indeed continue to inspire our future. Today, South Africans are in their 31st year of freedom, post-apartheid, and are rightly so enjoying the fruits of liberation. As Basotho, we share in the delight of this freedom and liberty to which we have contributed through the toils of our forebears. Therefore, future is closely inked, and so is our destiny. Our relationship extends beyond the sharing of borders. It is based on shared common history, family ties, culture, and language. Our people cross paths on a daily basis, not just in commerce and trade, but in families, funerals, in pain, and in happiness. We are but one people. Mr. President, we meet today for the second session of the Binational Commission between our two countries. while the world is going through serious geopolitical tensions and trade wars. We meet while the world is going through a rapidly changing international economic landscape that threatens the multilateral trade system that was built over decades, if not centuries. We are faced with uncertainty. Our peoples are already feeling the impact of the uncertainty in the global markets, and factories are shedding the much-needed jobs. However, we should not despair, but shore up our cooperation as well as forge solidarity as a region and continent. Just like we stood together during colonialism and apartheid eras. The two countries shall stand together even in the 21st century. Your Excellency, distinguished delegates, we are particularly encouraged that our meeting today will get report on the progress of the implementation of BNC decisions and directives of the first session. We expect to get reports regarding the development and implementation of the new migration model between the two countries. When in Pretoria in 2023, we were intentional and deliberate that the movement of persons, goods and services between our two countries must be given special attention, and that the new migration model that takes into consideration the unique geographic location of Lesotho inside South Africa must be developed and implemented to solve our current border and migration challenges. We also agreed that while awaiting the migration model, the 90 days visa arrangement and operation of two commercial borders, that is Maseru and Fixback commercial borders, on a one-stop border facility to reduce delays in the movement of goods and cargo. Despite our repeated affirmation and the anxiety of our people about the 90 days visa arrangement, implementation has not yet commenced. Therefore, I plead that we commit to have the 90-day visa arrangement by the 1st May 2025. As regards to one-stop border facility, the pilot phase was successful, and we must complete logistics to make it permanent. Mr. President, Lesotho government is also pleased that following the first session of the BNC in Pretoria, Basotho living and working in South Africa were extended their exemption permits to remain in South Africa for work. We thank you. We are indeed grateful for this gesture of good neighborliness. However, there are teething problems regarding application processes which need to be addressed. We note progress in the implementation of Phase 2 of Pudihadi, Lesotho Highlands Water Project. We note that there are delays in the execution of the main works. We call upon the implementing authorities to come up with a comprehensive turnaround strategy to recover the lost time. The completion of the dam will ensure water security for South Africa while also generating hydropower for Lesotho in line with the provisions of the Lesotho Highlands Water Project Treaty, as well as Phase 2 agreement. Mr. President, that the two components, which are water delivery and hydropower generation, are inseparable in terms of Article 4.1 of the treaty. As such, we must ensure that there is a formal decision and agreement between our two countries on the hydropower component of Phase 2. As without it, Phase 2 remains incomplete and not compliant with the treaty. It is critical to know that development of the affected areas provided in 4.2 of the treaty should not be sidelined. We wish to commend the ministers responsible for water in their capacity as designated authorities for providing an oversight role aimed at ensuring that the project is completed as planned. We direct the designated authorities to always work for the best interest of the parties and in a manner that promotes cooperation, prosperity, and peaceful coexistence between Lesotho and South Africa. The two countries have agreed to developing the mutual water resources in order to promote good neighborly relations, peace and prosperity, as well as the welfare of its peoples. At the heart of the design of the project are the people. These are the people affected by the project and people from both countries work. Their compensation must be well paid and their rights as workers be respected. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, trade between the two countries is the cornerstone of the increased economic cooperation between the countries as envisaged by the BNC agreement. Therefore, with the uncertain, rapidly changing international trade landscape, we need to reinforce our trade integration. We need to explore more and eradicate non-tariff barriers to trade within the SADC and African continent free trade area, to increase bilateral and intra-Africa trade to expand the market. The signing of the MOU on economic cooperation during the BNC will be a significant step towards enhancing trade and economic cooperation between the two countries and will pave the way to a complete free trade between us. While we think globally, we must act locally in earnest and urgency in order to build economic resilience and withstand the forces of uncertainty in a fast-changing global environment. As I conclude my remarks, I wish to state that the critical platform and viable vehicle to further strengthen bilateral relations and increase economic cooperation between the two countries. We must all work to continue the momentum gained in the first our peoples to a better life and shared prosperity. Therefore, our ministers should meet very soon to give effect to the issues that would emerge from this important session, particularly ministers responsible for Home Affairs and Trade, to mention few. BNC conference is a very engaged process. For us to be in this meeting, a lot of energy and effort has been invested. Therefore, I wish to take this opportunity to thank officials, ministers, and everybody who made it possible. Let me invite you, Your Excellency, to deliver your remarks. I thank you.
Thank you. I rise not to show off my voice, which has become hoarse, but also not to declare that I got sick when I arrived in Lesotho. So, as Basotho, don't ever think that you are responsible for my current health condition. The Prime Minister and I agreed that due to the condition of my voice and feeling a little bit fluey, I will ask the Minister of International Relations to come and deliver my opening remarks. I informed His Majesty the King that I would do precisely that as well. And he has wished me well in my recovery. You can't get better than that, than a king wishing you to get better. So I will get better. Minister Lamola.
Thank you very much. On behalf of President Cyril Ramaphosa of the Republic of South Africa, I will read his prepared speech. Firstly, to honor the respect to His Majesty the King, Your Excellency Prime Minister Matekane, honorable ministers, our respective high commissioners, senior government officials, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your warm welcome, Your Excellency, to the Kingdom of Lesotho. It is an honor to co-chair with you the second session of the Binational Commission between our two countries. We are meeting here to further strengthen ancient bonds of geography, history, kingship, solidarity, and common destiny. In October last year, we were honored to join His Majesty Letsie III and the people of this beautiful mountain kingdom to celebrate the 200th anniversary since the founding of the Basotho Nation and the 50th anniversary of our independence. As South Africans, we shall remain forever grateful for the unwavering solidarity and support this country extended to the oppressed people of South Africa during the dark days of apartheid. We recall the selfless sacrifices you made in that journey of bravery and heroism. As one of the trailblazers countries to achieve independence from the colonial rule, the Kingdom of Lesotho has over nearly 6 decades contributed to the development of our region and the continent. Lesotho has sought to promote and support the institutions of democracy and good governance. We commend your ongoing efforts to advance the political and constitutional reform agenda. The relationship between our two countries is characterized by cooperation, good neighborliness, and mutual beneficial relationship. This BNC mechanism needs to ensure that the 45 agreements and legal instruments that have been signed are fully implemented. We are assembling this session at a time of new global challenges and uncertainties. These challenges are not insurmountable. Working together, we should identify opportunities for progress in this rapidly changing environment. As neighbors, we have great scope to deepen bilateral cooperation in many areas while maintaining political and economic engagements with all countries. Cooperation in infrastructure development is a major priority. South Africa and Lesotho are making strides in cooperation on water resources management. This Lesotho Islands Water Project is a good example of how two friendly countries can collaborate to benefit its people. It is our hope that phase 2 of this project is completed soon. South Africa and Lesotho should work together in electricity generation. We should align our countries' just energy transitions, agendas, and projects. Energy security is critical for our two countries. It will play a major role in driving our manufacturing industries, powering our cities, towns, and villages, and enabling us to adapt to the demands of the new global economy. We need to redouble our efforts to establish bilateral and regional value chains, sustainable and economically viable. Our countries are both endowed with mineral resources, and we need to beneficiate these mineral resources locally. We should, within our jurisdictions, strategies for critical and rare minerals which continue to attract global interest. At the same time, we must diversify the products we produce and the services we provide. In this regard, the establishment of logistics hubs, agro-processing facilities, and data centers to support the emerging digital industry are some of the opportunities that South Africa and Lesotho should harness. Lesotho hosts many South African companies, and we appreciate the conducive environment in which these corporate entities operate in Lesotho. Investment by Lesotho companies in the South African economy need to be further promoted. We need to work together to harmonize measures for the movement of our respective citizens across our borders. We can strengthen immigration cooperation in a manner that is effective and secure. We must address cross-border criminal activities that undermine the harmonious existence of our two countries and peoples continue to enjoy. Our respective authorities should remain seized with the threats posed by global organized crime, which fuels illegal mining, drug and human trafficking, arms smuggling, wildlife destruction, illicit financial flows, and money laundering. Cooperation in education is fundamental to our shared future. We should make it easy for young Basotho peoples who live a stone throw away from schools on the South African side to be able to go to school. While this needs to be properly managed, bureaucratic impediments should not prevent the development of these young minds. The Department of Home Affairs in South Africa is considering the 90 days issue of the visa. South African institutions of higher learning host many Basotho students who provide the skills and capacity needed by the Kingdom of Lesotho. During the days of apartheid, children of our exiled activists and young adults attended schools and institutions of higher learning in this country. Many of our leaders attended the National University of Lesotho, famously known as Roma. It is therefore only fitting and proper that we enhance cooperation in the field of education. As South Africa undertook its transition to democracy and was grappling with the process of constitution making and state building, Lesotho was there to support us. Now, as the Kingdom of Lesotho makes progress in its institutional reform, we stand ready to share our experiences in areas such as the strengthening the constitutional architecture, security sector reform, judicial capacity building, and other areas of institutional development. Our common heritage and shared destiny require that we be united in purpose and work towards the upliftment of our peoples. Let us work together as a peace-loving nations within SADC, the African Union, and the United Nations to pursue a just global order founded on multilateralism, human rights, and the respect for international law. Let us strive together to reform global institutions so that they are inclusive and advance the interests of the Global South. As we open this session, I join you in applauding the ministers and senior officials for their hard work, focus, and commitment in preparing the report of this commission. I look forward, Your Excellency, to fruitful deliberations. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Lamola, for the excellent delivery. Thank you very much, the Right Honorable the Prime Minister, for the delivery of your speeches. We can't fail to note that amid your health challenges, you are here in the kingdom, and we thank you very much for that. A round of applause. And that shows what we always say, political commitment, political commitment. It is here today. And now it rests with us as senior government officials and our ministers to go implement in earnest. We only have this region, Southern Africa. It is our home, and we are in this together. There is no way we will not live together in this region. Before we go to the SADC, we start here. These two countries first, and then we go out together, smiling. Thank you very much. And in Lesotho, we say, Ha emuholo abuile lidumme. We have received the policy direction. Let us cooperate in earnest and implement. At this moment, may I kindly request the members of the media to take leave of the summit as we enter into the closed session, please. Members of the media, protocol, please help me to usher them. Re a leboha. Re tla boela re le bitsa hape.